Hi, it's Marilyn Price with the Mentor Project and one of her most favorite, oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? A puppet that she uses frequently and is often used as a logo. This is Mrs. Goose. Mrs. Goose and I are so excited today because we are going to have an interview, our very first interview session on this magic space called the StreamYard, where you can see us over and over and over and over again. What do you think about that, Mrs. Goose? You like it? Okay. Now, Mrs. Goose, get ready because I am going to introduce someone very special to me who is with someone very special to you. And we actually have something in common. But enough of me chatting. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen out there and folks of all ages, here's what's going on. Mrs. Goose and one of our guests does not speak word that we frequently get, but speaks a language that anybody can understand. It's called goose. Yep. So whenever they speak like that, then we, me and my very special guest, will interpret for you. Okay, so I'm about to push this thing called the magic button, and they will magically appear to you. But before that, I have to tell you who the other human is in our meeting today. This other human being, who I love very much, grew up in this same space. And then he left to go pursue a wonderful career. And you're going to find out more about him as you read about him and as I brag about him. His name is Matt Price. Oh, you know him? Mm-hmm. And he lives all the way across the country from me. So, without any further ado, and don't we all need ado, I'm going to push the magic button and up will appear Matt and Mrs. Goose Senior. Hey, Matt, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. I've told everyone out there what to expect, and they can watch it on YouTube and live stream and oh, what else? Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, there's so many different incredible things we have, and then they can listen to us on podcast. That sounds like something
Whoa.
they eat, don't you? But I also told them, besides your own particular wonderment, that you have a very good friend of Mrs. Goose with you. So could we see her?
I do. She's coming right. She's busy right now,
What's she doing?
but she'll. Oh, you're
Oh,
not busy anymore? Okay, here she is.
oh, calm down, calm down. Here's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and folks of all ages. That is the original. Yes, Mrs. Goose Senior.
She's
And
very excited to be here. She's. You can just. Yes, I told him. Yeah, she's very
mm,
excited.
and she should be. So I'm gonna Mrs. Goose here is going to ask Mrs. Goose Senior a couple of questions. Okay, so I will interpret after she asks. You want to whisper in my ear? You don't whisper. Yeah, I knew that. Okay, here we go. She would like to know why you don't live with us.
She. Oh, is that the? Okay, I'm sorry. That was not my list of questions. Sorry, Mrs. Good Senior. She said she doesn't live with us, you, because she lives out here with me. Now I know that's obvious, but that's her answer.
She wants to apologize for throwing you a question, and you don't have to follow any script at all because
She
it's your.
just, yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
she just thought right away, right out of the
I,
gate.
I know right out of the box. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'm your mother, so I can do that.
we're just getting
And
used to it.
speaking of that, is Mrs. Mrs. would like to know if Mrs. Goose Senior is related to her.
She says, yeah, very much so.
Yeah, Mrs. Goose would like to know if Mrs. Goose Senior is Mrs. Goose's mother.
She says, yes.
Oh, wow. Well, she was excited. It looks to me like, oh, can I ask a question? Sure. She thinks that her mom and herself look like they were cut from the same cloth. Is that? Hmm?
Oh, sorry. You thought she was done? No, yes, she had a little bit more. Well, okay, so were you cut from the same cloth? Yes, she was cut. You were both cut from a red terry cloth towel, apparently.
She'd like to know if it'd been used before.
Yes, that was funny. No, they were both. None of them were used.
Oh,
They were
okay.
freshly bought. Uh, the store is now closed, but both bought it. Very nice, very nice. Nothing but the best.
She said that's really good to know. Do you have another question? She wants to know why you too moved to California.
Well, I moved to California for work, and I put her, Mrs. Goose Senior, in my suitcase. Well, I couldn't just, pay for a ticket. I was just sort of starting out. Well, okay, I didn't know you could fly, and so that's my mistake. All right, well now she's mad. So, but that is the truth.
Well, but now that she's there, she's glad to be there.
Are you glad to be here now? She is. She says it does get a little cool in December, but otherwise
Mm.
she likes it. Sorry, it gets, it also gets a little rainy in January.
She wants to know, Mrs. Goose wants to know if it snows in California.
It does not snow. Oh, sorry. She also wanted me to let you know she also likes the tacos. There are tacos here.
No, no, no. I'm sorry, Mrs. Goose. I'll get you some tacos, but not right now. We'll work.
Guacamole. She suggests some guacamole as well. Very good.
Mm. How come she and you don't? I don't know. She probably has a better parent. Is it impossible? Okay, have another question. This one you may have to ad lib, Matt. Get ready. She wants to know if she's had any uh, jobs since she's been there.
That's a great question, Mrs. Goose Senior. Have you had any jobs? Oh, right. That was funny. That was sure. Mrs. Goose. Well, I'll let her tell you. She was in a commercial for Geico. The Geico commercial.
Oh. Don't, Mrs. Goose, come back, come back. No, I'm so sorry. She thought maybe she'd go pack her bag and come and join you.
Oh, Mrs. Goose and Mrs. Goose Senior and I would love that. There's a room here. We're actually sitting in what would be your guest room.
Mrs. Goose wants to know if there are other puppets that you can hang with when you're busy with your other work.
I know. So this is a problem. The puppet community here is pretty spread. LA is pretty big and it's pretty spread out. So I know, and but she has a few friends. Yes, like she does know Miss Piggy. She's gotten to know Miss Piggy a little bit, and yep, and Big Bird. She has coffee with Big Bird.
She wants to know if you could see eye to eye with the big one, the Big Bird.
Right, yeah, right. Only when he's lying down.
She thinks that's very fortunate for you that you get to know all characters who are what's the name of those? Oh, I'm sorry. She said Muppets. I should have known that, shouldn't I?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know I'm a puppeteer. Well, let's see. Do we have any other questions for either Mrs. Goose Senior or Matt? Really? You want me to ask him that right now? Would I? I guess I should. Oh, did you see what? You didn't see that, did you? Could you do that again, Mrs. Goose Senior?
She just she whispered in my ear.
That's very sweet, Mrs. Sweet. Mrs. Goose is kind of curious. Curious. Now that you know she can fly, if maybe and you and Mrs. Goose Senior and me and Mrs. Goose, the other Mrs. Goose, could do a show together sometime.
She would love that. That would be amazing.
So, what would we call it?
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. Why would I not be for it? Well, yes, I'm sure. Okay. No, I'm all for it. I would love it.
So we should sit down and figure something out. What would you, Mrs. Goose? I have a question for you. What is it? Oh, thank you. That's really rude. Mrs. Goose, would you like to think of a name for your goose tail? That's a good name, Goose Tails. Oh, okay, we could name it that. But you know that years ago, Mrs. Goose Senior had a TV show. She did. It was called Goose on the Loose.
Mhm.
Yeah, you did. You had a Goose on the Loose show. It was on cable, and people watched it. Where were you? You hadn't been cut from the same cloth yet.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll ask this question. Okay, she would like to know if you think that the two of you have ever been in the same place at the same time.
She thinks they have. She's remembering a family reunion.
Yeah, well, you'd be a member of the family. We have other geese. Are you talking about people or geese?
People, geese, more people, more geese.
They're one and the same, aren't they? Wow.
Oh,
So
right. Yes, your cousin, Dr. Goose. Have you met Dr. Goose?
we have medical professionals in the family. Yes, of course.
She's very nice.
And we have, yeah.
Oh, Monsieur Goose, who moved to France.
Oh, bonjour. Oh, okay. She wants to know a couple, just a little bit before we, squawk out of here.
Mhm.
Um, uh, why you are a goose? Sometimes your body looks a little bit like a duck. Do you have any reason to know why Marilyn Price made you look like a goose?
She thinks you should ask her.
Wait,
No, I
yeah,
know that's her. That was my interpreting your asking. Yeah, she wants to ask you why.
well, I'll tell you because it's a lovely, wonderful experience. When Mrs. Goose was born, and we created her up there in Walloon Lake, Michigan. No, she's not a water goose. She's a dryland goose. But when I sewed her up there, I was sewing her so she could go visit kids in the hospital. Yeah, kids in the hospital. And they loved her. And the reason they loved her is because she would take her cute little beaky face and go around the door and just go. And they didn't have to see uniforms, and they could talk to her because kids understand goose, right? They do. And that's how she was born. And she was happy to go and live in sunny California as she aged. Are we going to go live in sunny California when we age? I don't know. You never know. Do you know? You don't know.
Well, Mrs. Goose Senior and I think that's a great idea.
Okay, then
The
we
tacos. You want me to remind you about the tacos and the guacamole?
She likes tortillas.
That's what a taco comes in. That's right.
Mmm. Corn? Corn only has one syllable, Goose. Yeah, corn. Yeah, corn. Okay. Well, you know what, Mrs. Goose and Mrs. Goose Senior and Matt, I think that our experiment worked out really well. So I'll just ask Mrs. Goose Senior and or Matt if they have any questions for us before we say good night.
You do have a question? Okay. Well, what is it? She wants to know, how come you never write?
She said she only knows how to honk.
That's my girl, she said.
And you are her girl. Well, ladies and gentlemen and folks and everybody out there who we love, who is listening, watching, having a great old honking good time, we would like to thank Mrs. Goose Senior and her ever-present handyman, Matt Price, and of course, Mrs. Goose, and our friends at the Mentor Project for allowing us to be with them today. So come on and click on Facebook, and you will be able to see us on that medium and on LinkedIn. I don't even know how to explain these to you. We'll talk about this later. Okay, can I finish? Okay, finish. And of course,
Let's
then
know about Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, that's cool.
And TikTok. I don't know if she has TikTok. Well, not everybody has TikTok. Some people don't. All right, sorry.
You could get TikTok, Mrs. Goose Senior, because you're old enough, but so are you actually. Who was I? I was just thanking everybody because everybody's good to thank. So have a really rocking good day. And Mrs. Goose, how about one last great big old lovely honk for our audience? Are you ready? At the count of 3. Ready? A 1, a 2, a 3. You want to blow everyone a kiss?
Oh, she's trying to kiss you. She's coming in for a kiss on this side. Look at that. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, that's nice.
Mom. Good night. Thank you. I will be looking forward to our show, Geese on the Lease.
We're excited about it.
Okay, take good care.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for